What's up, racers? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Gran Turismo Sport. Today I am going to try and go full immersion on Gran Turismo Sport. So we're going to go cockpit view only. Also, we are in the Beetle, so we're going to see what kind of mirrors that it has for us. Every car is different, obviously. And yes, I know I am on a controller, so yes, it does hinder the level of immersion. But this is what we've got, so this is what we're going to deal with. Anyway, let's give it a go. In the Beetle, starting last, what can we do? So here we are, our little Group 3 Beetle. A nice little look around and ready to go. Obviously, you can see that we have the gearing in front of us, so we can see what gear we are in. But obviously, no lap count. I tried to turn the player names off so I wouldn't know where I am on the track, but apparently you can't turn them off. Anyway, I'll have to have another look at that. No countdown, so I actually missed the start of the race, and we are already chasing the cars in front as someone actually has a penalty up in front of us as well. That is not a good start for them, but again, not a good start for us. This video then is basically just sort of a teaser as to what it would be like for us, or for me, if we had a rig or a steering wheel setup. I would love to drive in the cockpit view all of the time, but obviously we're on controller and it kind of feels more natural to me to drive in that chase cam. We've talked about it so many times on the channel already, why I choose to race with the chase cam, so I'm not going to go over that right now. And please refrain from, in the comments section, being chase cam, all that kind of stuff, okay? Everyone has their own opinion, everyone has their favourite way of playing, so just be respectful of everyone's opinion, basically. Well, I mean, I shouldn't even have to say this. Anyway, on with the race. And the Porsche in front of us gets a little bit wiggly. We do move to the inside. Can we make a move coming up into the hairpin corner here? Obviously no radar, so I don't know how close he is onto my left. I just give him the world of space there and he's just going to use it and go away. But that only comes with practice and practice and practice. I should know that he is going to take that super narrow line so I can go a little bit narrower myself. But I gave him too much space and he was able to get away. So the biggest thing for me when driving in cockpit camera, this view right here, without any HUD, without any radar, is your awareness. Your spatial awareness is that much more restricted. You don't know what is around you, especially on the controller. You don't have time to sort of flick with one stick to look to your left or look to your right. It just doesn't happen. As we go through 130R, they're just too fast basically and heavy on the brakes into the final chicane. So if you compare it to using the chase cam, you have all of that space around your own car that you can see, so you can use all that information to affect what you're going to do in corners or on straights when you're around other cars. You don't have that option to do that with this view. And it's the same with bonnet when you're on the bonnet cams or hood cam or whatever you want to call it. You don't have that information around you going past someone who obviously murdered themselves on T1 there and go up to 15th position. Whoa, doing fantastic in this race. But we don't have that information on the hood cam. You do have more information when you're on bumper cam. You have the little rear view mirror at the top of the screen, but you don't have it in this or the hood cam, which, you know, it makes it quite difficult to know what is around you. And I would love to know your thoughts on this. Obviously, we all play in different views and we all have different opinions. And I would want to know why you race in the view that you race. If you race in cockpit view, why do you race it? If you're in chase cam or bonnet or hood, whatever it is, why do you race it? Let me know in the comments section below. Another thing while I'm driving around here, getting used to this point of view, is the different turn-ins, the different braking points, the markers that I'm using are very, very different. You can tell that because we're on this lower line of view, that we can really see the undulations, the gradient changes in the track. We're coming around this right-hander here, it's almost over crest into that left-hander there. And it's just something that you don't experience when you're in that chase cam view. So this corner here, as I come out there, when I'm in chase cam, I'm looking for the exit point. I can see the runoff over to the right hand side of the track, and that is when I know that I can put my foot on the accelerator. But now I can't see that because I'm in this lower view, so I have to change my point of reference to a different one. So I'm going to now look at the inside, look at the apex of the corner, and I know when to put my accelerator down so I can accelerate out of the corner nice and quickly. Now, I don't know if we made contact with the guy in front there, but in this view, you can actually see a lot easier when you are following cars nice and closely. It's quite difficult to see in chase cam how close you really are to the car in front. That is one of its biggest downfalls, I think. But I mean, being inside this car it's a lot of fun. You see the steering wheel change, you see the driver doing the inputs that you are making, and it's just fantastic to see, and it does give you a little bit more enjoyment when you are racing these races. Now, what I did with my field of view, I just put it up 2 clicks because you can change the height and you can change how forward and back it is. So you can push this camera right to the front so you can see obviously how close you are to the cars a lot better, but you can also put it to the back, which I have, so you can see the mirrors more clearly. So you see the left mirror over there. If I had the field of view pushed all the way to the front, only half of the mirror would be able to be visible. And one of the downfalls of the Beetle is that there is no middle mirror. There's no rear view mirror in the middle of the windscreen up to the top rightish section of the screen. There's nothing there. So all I'm relying on is that little left-hand mirror. I can move the analog stick and look to the right, but you basically can't see anything out of that right-hand mirror. So I'm just relying on that little left mirror to tell me if there's anyone behind me, and you can see a little bit actually. And looking at it now, there's no one behind me all the way back to that corner, and you just saw there that I did just serve a penalty, which would have been for cutting the first part of the chicane on the previous lap when we were right behind the driver in front. So we have 1 lap to go to improve on 14th position. I felt like I got a little bit of warm-up time in. I did probably 2 laps of warm-up before this race. So we've had 2 laps of warm-up and 3 laps in the race, coming on to our 4th and final lap. I think we don't have any of the HUDs, so I'm just guessing at this point. But you know what, it's only a 4-lap race, so I should be able to count to 4 over the race. So first corner, obviously you have to be very, very smooth, and my consistency about my inputs, my steering and my accelerating just wasn't there, and that's just down to a lack of repetition in this camera view. Anyway, these sweeping S's here, super easy to get wrong. You sort of get one input towards one of the apexes wrong and you're wide for the next one. Very, very tricky set of corners. Suzuka for me is one of my least favourite tracks, purely because of how average and inconsistent I am on it. If you're looking at it from a neutral perspective, it's a very, very good track. Very fast corners, very tight, very technical corners as well. And that is, you know, on the checklist of every great track. So, coming into the hairpin here, heavy on the brakes. Someone does have a penalty in front of us, rounding the corner. A nice screen glitch, just for good measure. Thank you, Game Catcher, for being perfect as always. And now we are flat all the way down towards Spoon Curve. He's not too far away from us. I don't know if we're in that 1.2 magic distance between us and him, because if we are, then we are in his slipstream. Is he going to go wide on the last part of Spoon Curve? No, he's not. He's going to get a nice run out. Someone is going to serve their penalty up ahead of us, but it's not going to be enough. Are we in that slipstream up the back? It does look like it. It does look like we're gaining just a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. We're going to finish in 14th. We are going to nearly get him on the line, which you're going to see in a second, as he does get a little bit wiggly through the last chicane. But this is going to be our experience in full immersion. I do want to do this probably every couple of weeks, so we test out different cars, different track combos, see if we can really get a feel to a track, as we just narrowly miss out overtaking him on the line. Now, I did want to do this a couple of times over. Obviously, that was just one race and nothing really happened in it. But I did want to do it more than once. So I said to myself, we'll do it 4 times. We'll do it in 4 different cars, but you're going to see exactly what happens. So the next car that I chose was the Mercedes-Benz, the AMG, and we can see that we have a wonderful mirror in the middle, and we also have half a mirror over to our left as well. But as the clock ticks down, we're going to see that, yep, classic PD, we are disconnected. Thank you, PD. You are forever absolutely perfect. Anyway, I wait around and I go again. So another 15 minutes worth of practice. Obviously, I have to wait for the previous race to finish. So, okay, back in the Mercedes. Let's give it another go. And yes, once again, we were disconnected. So that is 2 times in a row. Surely not, I hear you cry. It can happen 3 times in a row. But, oh boy, does it ever. Practicing once again, 15 minutes of practicing and disconnected once again. So that is an hour out of my life that I could have spent doing something, and instead I was being disconnected. Thank you, Gran Turismo. You are the best. And I don't think you can blame me for not wanting to do any more races on Gran Turismo Sport after that. But I hope you enjoyed that. I hope we're going to do a couple more full immersion videos. I think they're going to be pretty cool when I get to race some races. Thank you for watching, liking and subscribing. We hit 3,000 subscribers yesterday. Let's go, boys and girls. Thank you to the channel members, another 2 members in the live stream as well. And we'll see you in the next one.